28th of January. That was the last Sunday of January.
Okay.
This 2024. And the young man was preaching. And he got me really interested. He said, he told the congregation, oh, if I give you $20 million today as a gift, you didn't work for it, you didn't earn it, you didn't play any lottery, how would you feel? Oh, everybody felt exhilarated. No, I want this $20 million. He said, okay, you want it. He went further. He said, I will raise the stake to $50 million. People became, is this man, what is he driving at? He said, but there is a caveat. And they said, what's the caveat? He said, I will give you the $50 million today, but you will die today. He said, no, that's a bad gift. That's a Greek gift, even worse than a Greek gift. And he said, so you prefer to live than to have the $50 million. So what it means is that these criminals, these terrorists, these non-state actors who come in with a few rifles to terrorize all of us want to live also. They don't want to die. Mm-hmm. The kidnapper wants to kidnap, collect money, to build capacity, to enjoy himself, do whatever he likes to do. So he doesn't want to get, kidnapped and get that money and die the same day. So the only alternative, let us be realistic to ourselves, the only alternative available to us in this country as we are today is the rights for individuals to bear arms, to defend themselves and their property.
Okay, before we get there, let's let's x-ray the security situation in Nigeria. Okay, let's see what they call it, our security agencies are doing, what they have been able to do, what it used to be in the past, and what is it like now? Are they overwhelmed? Why do we start talking about people defending themselves when we have well-packaged military, police, paramilitary, and a whole lot of them, that their primary duty is to secure lives and property? What is the security situation in Nigeria like now, which is making people to call for legalization of arms?
Thank you very much. The situation security-wise is incapacity. There's no other word I can use for it. Incapacity in the sense that the Nigerian police, as at today, as we sit here, have 371,800 sworn members of the Nigerian police force, as at today. Now, the United Nations benchmark, these 371,800 sworn policemen, as at today, is against a population of 214 million as at 2021. So we are more than that by now.
Still counting, yes.
Now, still counting. So, but the UN benchmark is 300 policemen for 1,000 people. So you will see that we are incapable of providing protection. You can't ask somebody, an organization, to give what they don't have. Police have 371,800 sworn members. Now, out of those 371,000, about 120,000 are on several duties, following VIPs around. Another 60,000 are working in the command offices all over the nation as staff, within the command offices. They are manning the offices. Yes. Now, who is there to now defend in a situation of distress? The country of Egypt, for example, our nation, and a nation here in Africa. Egypt has a population of 80 million, accurate population. Egypt is not like here where we lie about our figures. You understand me?
Where we estimate.
Yes. Egypt has an accurate population of 80 million people. Egypt has a police population of 4 million. So you can now see why it is easy in Egypt to enforce laws. The problem we have here is lawlessness. Nobody is there to enforce the law. The few people who are there to enforce the law are trying to, you know, appropriate whatever they get in the process to themselves. They are serving themselves, they are not serving the people they are supposed to serve. So you can see that if there is incapacity, if you stretch it further, the army, 124,000, 57,000 reservists in the reserve. What can they do?
Why are you talking about thousands that we don't have up to 1 million of them?
No, if you combine all the security agencies, the army, police, civil service, defense, whatever, the DSS, all of them is not
the
up to 1 million.
Navy and the Air Force
They are
among
not
the
up,
Army.
they are not up to 1 million. Quote me. They are
This
not up to 1 million.
this is scary.
It's a shame.
This
because
is scary.
What we have is a situation where people don't want to call a spade a spade. Where we pretend, we live a lie. We think we say this, we are going to do this. Look, 3 monarchs were attacked in Ekiti. 2 were killed instantly and debased. They are monarchs. And you know how we hold our royal fathers. Now, 1 managed to escape. It took 72 hours after the fact for the IGP to send special squad into Ekiti to try and fish out the people who killed these monarchs. Now, are you trying to tell me that the place where these monarchs were killed, that there were no police division in that area? Are you saying that there was a total absence of police presence in that area? No. So, for the IGP to send a special squad from Abuja into Ekiti to try and fish out these people, what it means is that the police management is fully persuaded that the division in Ekiti, the area command in Ekiti, the state command in Ekiti, is incapable of protecting these monarchs or going after those people that killed them. That is the sorry state.
Very sorry state indeed.
So when we are calling for people for arms, nobody is an anarchist. Americans, you walk into a shop in America and buy a gun. You don't need any special license.
Oh, you don't license
You don't need any special license.
You just buy gun like you buy a toy.
With your identity. You walk in and buy it.
Okay, with the identity, it's recorded that Ijoma picked a gun at the street.
Right. So, likewise...
And they know the details of the gun. So when it's used anywhere, they know who owns it.
Yes. So, likewise, we can now say, throw it open. Because if you put regulation on it, I don't know the variant of the bill that Senator Ned Nwoko took to the Senate. But I'm working with a group of people who are trying to equally bring a variant of the bill. We don't want a situation where you put regulation. You will say, you have to go to Mr. B or come to me to get your license. Because that is the problem we have in Nigeria. If you have to regulate anything, the people who are regulating that thing will turn that thing into their money-making machine. They will turn it into a factory.
Business, yes.
It becomes a business because their own marketplace.
What are you regulating when there is need?
When there is need. So what we are proposing is, if you have NIN, National Identity Card, you go ahead and buy a gun. You know? And you can be traced with that NIN.
Yes, now.
Now, when we stabilize the place, we need stability first. I hear that they are talking about state police. Where are you going to get the state policemen? From heaven? Okay, the same policemen who are on the streets today collecting money?
No, before we get to that now, let's, you just gave us a very scary statistics of our security apparatus. We want to find out, why is it that we don't have enough of them? Is it that we don't have enough able-bodied young men to join the force? Or that's the stringent measures that they are using so that they don't allow people to come in? Otherwise, we have people that want to join Army, join Navy, join Air Force, and the whole lot of things, so that we beef up the population.
Well, the Buhari administration promised to recruit 10,000 every year, which is a paltry sum. Out of that 10,000, about 5,000 retire every year. About 5,000 policemen retire every year. So what Buhari administration was really trying to do was to recruit 5,000 people to replace those likely 5,000 that will retire every year. So the problem we have is the inability to channel resources to where they are needed to provide the service. The money is there. It's not like the money is not there.
And perhaps they don't want to employ a lot of people so that
They do not want to do that.
They won't have to use too much money paying them or whatever.
They are looking at the overhead cost. So if we look at the Egypt scenario that I used as an example, yes, we might not, it's not like we are not able to have 4 million policemen. But we don't have the courage to spend that money to protect ourselves.
So what's this? So there's an external aggression. What do you do?
Well, the external aggression is another ball game. I don't want to go into
because you don't have the personnel.
Into that.
That's why I asked.
You understand me?
Yes.
So that is in a situation where you know, deviance have taken over. Deviance is the norm. Compliance is a misnomer, it's an orphan. If you refuse to join the deviant train, you will be forced by circumstances to become a deviant against your own will. I want to give a small example.
Go ahead.
A bus driver this morning that plies between Oka and Onisha, he decides, so I'm going to be a good man. I'm going to have all my papers. I'll spend all the money, get all the necessary papers so that I don't get any embarrassments on the road. He does that, pays all the dues that goes into government coffers, and takes off in the morning. The first police checkpoint, he says, I have all my papers. They will say, park. Now, the boss behind him, who is a deviant, has his money already in his hand. The moment he gets to that place, he will surrender the money and then he goes off. So they will make sure that the compliant driver is frustrated. He might not be able to make one complete trip a day, while the deviant driver will make 4 or 5 trips. So what are we now saying? We are promoting what? Deviance. The same way, even the military. I was doing a survey, personal survey, to find out, establish facts, how many checkpoints are there between Onitsha and Aba, because I've read so much about it. I now decided to take a bus. I paid for the 2 seats in the front, so I can sit in the front with the driver. I never discussed anything with the driver. He doesn't know my mission. I just sat there. So as we are going, he has his stack of change. You know, he knows what to do at each checkpoint. So at the police checkpoint, I will see him. He will do his left hand like this and bring out and surrender and continue. At this stage, he will do that until we go to just after the Imo International Airport junction. There is a military checkpoint there. And he ran out of change, apparently, and began to discuss with the military guys. You know, get change. You know, he said, bring the thing, I get change. The military guy was looking at me. He never cared a hoot who I was or what I represented.
Even when you look like a general.
He never cared. He never cared. He never gave a damn. So he took the money, went to his box, brought change, and gave to this driver. Okay. Now, that's how bad the situation is. So let's not put fragrance on it. We are running a society that is lawless. It's only gone, you and I, if you can secure yourself and I can secure myself. We will begin to respect each other. We will begin to deal with each other with the level of respect that each other deserves. We will begin to cast votes, and the votes will count.
Okay, are you saying that there's nothing we could do at this point to first of all perhaps to regulate the arms, that the illegal arms that are in the hands of non-state actors, or better still, improve our security architecture to ensure that citizens are well protected, whereby you don't even need to own a gun. Okay. Are you saying there's no hope? There's nothing else we can do?
Now, why? On your first question, the people who are holding these arms illegally, you can't get it from them. Instead, they are building, they are expanding with what they are getting. When they kidnap people and get 100 million, they reinvest. The guns are the infrastructure they use to perpetrate these acts.
About a factory they discovered in Plateau State where they even make guns.
Those are possibilities that we cannot rule out. Now, these things are because we are in a regulated society, in a society that says, no, people must not have guns. It's only forced people that must have these guns. So the bad people know that all of us are vulnerable. So they keep investing and getting the guns. And we don't have the security people who will go after them and mop up these guns because they are not there. They are following VIPs. They are doing this, they are doing that. They are living big. Some of them are scared even to confront those people. You know, I was discussing with a friend yesterday about the military we used to have. A Nigerian brigadier general was mandated to move into Liberia and flush out Charles Taylor troops who are holding the international airport in Monrovia. This general, what he did was, he demanded for the map of the airport, they gave it to him. He demanded to know the strength of the forces Charles Taylor have on ground. They gave it to him. Do you know that this general himself entered the C-130 with his own troops, landed in that same airport in Monrovia, opened the back of the C-130 and began to fight those people and push them out? Now, if you call a general now, today, and you tell him you are posting him to Borno, where these insurgents, where they are, he will begin to look for senator. He will begin to look for contact of who will stop that posting, who will stop him from going there. Now, but I just gave you a scenario. I gave you a scenario of a general who landed inside the same airport where these troops are holding and put his life on the line and flush them out.
If I perish, I perish.
That's right. That's the type of military we had then. The military we have now, they are big men, they are rich men, they are bourgeois. They want to live like millionaires. They want to live like Obi Kubana and the rest. You know, that's not the military.
Where did we miss it?
We missed it when military men began to be head of state and began to live like lords. The likes of Babangida Abdulsalam. If you go to Hilltop, you will not know. My father-in-law was a soldier. He fought in Unifel. It was the money that he was paid in Unifel that he used to build his bungalow. And he was comfortable. He don't want any mansion. Because as a soldier, what does he need it for?
Living a contented
life.
But
today, we have soldiers, you go into their compound, they have 16, 17 cars. You begin to ask, how can a soldier function with such under such luxurious
the oath that they were taking taken by then in those days, did it change?
It didn't change.
Is it not the same oath of laying down my life for the protection of my country?
It did not change. What changed was the people. Nigeria changed them. Nigeria happened to them. Nigeria is happening to all of us. So because Nigeria is happening to all of us, we must rise up and defend ourselves. Now, are you surprised that professors, a university teacher, revered in those days, will now be mandated to come and announce a false result for INEC? And the professor will come, sit, they put television cameras. He said, I'm Professor so-and-so of the so-and-so university. He will now begin to reel out the falsehood. This falsehood...
As if he's on a gunpoint.
Yes. This falsehood will now move to the tribunal, where another game will start. Do you understand me? So if you have a gun if you and I have a gun, nobody will announce a false result. Like the 50 million the pastor was talking about.
Okay, we are coming.
You will take the money, but you won't leave.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss the implication of having these guns in our hands. If that's need for that, I want to have my own too. Okay, we'll take a break here, and we'll be back. Don't go away.
How the country is now, it's good to have something to save yourself, you know. But you know, gun is not something someone can carry anyhow like that. You understand? So that's the reason why you cannot make use of gun anyhow, because you go training to know how to use gun and know how you handle it. You understand? That is the only thing there.
It's not good to legalize gun because it's going to fall into the hands of the evil ones and might turn to something evil. It's not good to legalize it in Nigeria.
It's not good. Why? Because legalizing gun, there's a lot of danger in it. Even if for security reasons, gun is supposed to be in the hand of security agents alone. To legalize gun, where the combating of security is in the hand of a security agent. So for everybody to go about with the gun, it's very dangerous. Because a lot of people has a psychiatric problem. And the gun is meant for people that are normal, both physical and mental. To legalize gun for everybody to go on with the gun is very, very dangerous. It's not encouraged.
Criminal. Collectively, our Igwes to start with, the emirs to start with, they have to tell themselves the truth. They know where those criminals are. If they can work with farmers, equip the farmers, make them to know, inculcate that sense of belonging in them, to know their roots. The insecurity will be a thing of the past, of course.
So as I am concerned, guns should be only in the hand of security agent. If security agent cannot combat crime, okay, let there be it. They are trained for that purpose. Okay?
So I am opposing legalization of gun for individuals. We are not right for that. We are not Americans. Even if you go to Americans, there is going out of hands. They are trying to regulate it.
Security and life of property is hand of security agent. That's why they are being trained for. To encourage legalizing of gun for everybody to go because of security issues is very dangerous, as I am concerned.
I would say that the proper thing, because we are pressing federal system government, is for the state to have their own police system. When you have it, the security will be minimized. So there's no issue of someone academic arms like you see in US. It will spell disaster.
Ready for school? Yes! My champs, they use energy at school. I know because imagine the energy they may have used up to return home distressed every day.
Your champs need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast.
It has nutrients that support energy release to help champs get the most out of their active days. Milo!
Welcome back. It is still Good Morning Anambra discussion. And we are still looking at Nigeria's security crisis, exploring the debate on gun legalization. And I still have Chief Anthony Chibo. He's a public affairs analyst. I still have him in the house. And I welcome you again.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Before we get to the implication of this legalization, you told me you did a survey from Enugu to Aba to find out how many checkpoints or whatever. So what is the outcome of that survey?
16.
16 checkpoints.
16.
From Enugu to Aba.
From Onitsha to
From
Aba.
Onitsha to Aba.
And back.
They are only place Or are
No,
they,
police and army,
you have police, you have army.
16 of them.
Okay,
And each of these 16, the drivers have to do something to pass them.
okay.
So they're paying illegal taxes.
Oh, yeah, illegal taxes, because I know there are others. This time somebody shouted that the Southeasterners are being intimidated to take away money from them, or
Yes.
something like that, that this numerous or duplication of checkpoints is a means of, draining their money, so that whatever it is, mana ifada kwebonade. Anyway, let's move ahead. We started talking about the establishment of state police. We saw what happened yesterday after the meeting that the president held with the governors. It's one of the top agendas that for us to curb this insecurity and ensure food security, that's need for a state police. Okay, so that it's only when the farms are free that the farmers can be able to produce. So don't you think that if we have the state police, we might not have any need for individuals to own gun again?
No, I think we are very far from the truth. The truth is that the same state police, you're going to recruit them from the same system, present system we have. The system we have today does not have respect for you and for me. And we don't have respect for them because they are a compromised system. Now, you must build the character first. You must have the freedom first before you can begin to talk about protection. Now, if you create state police out of what we have presently, yes, they can increase the numbers, they can provide what is absent, but how will they function? Will they function the same way the present police system is functioning? Will they be placing demand? Can you use them to write false petition, give them money to mobilize them, and they jump into people's house and arrest innocent people, and then because I have a grouse with my brother or with my sister or with my friend or with my, do you understand, or a business grouse? You see,
Or you snatch his girlfriend, he will come for you.
Right. So what we are saying is, if individuals have gone to protect themselves, they are not only protecting themselves, they are protecting themselves from arbitrary abuse of the law. Before
not just from the criminals.
Yes, not just from the criminals. Before a policeman will come to you, to your house, the law requires that he first obtains a warrant from a magistrate or a judge. When he gets to that judge, he will he will show that judge reason why that warrant will be issued. And it will be issued under the context of whatever was presented to the judge. It is not done today. If I have vendetta with you, maybe if you took my girlfriend on Valentine's night, I can go to the police and say you're a thief, you're this, you're that, and I'll mobilize them, and they will jump in, and by the end of the day, the whole thing fizzles out as a ruse. So that is what we are trying to extend. It's not just the state police. See, if we want to unbundle the police, you will have state police, local government police, county, city police,
Community police.
community police. So if you come like in Oka today, you have a police chief in Oka. The police chief might be elected like in the US. You might not be a career policeman. You might not come from, you might not even have police training. You might be a criminologist or something like that. He will run to become police boss so that he will reduce crime in Oka. Now, he will sit there and direct trained men, set targets for them. He will put Oka in his office and look at Oka and see what he will do to bring sanity into any troubled areas of Oka. That is what you call proper policing. And the Oka have the money. The city will be paying their policemen. You understand me? But when they have a problem that, a cross-border problem, then you involve the federal police, who will come in, you understand me, and take over that cross-border problem or intercity problem. The same way local government police. If I'm police chief for a Demili local government, Demili North, I will put the towns, the 11 towns in the Demili North under my radar and begin to, scientifically find out how I can protect the Demili North. That is what you call policing. Today, what we have is people who sit down in the office. You understand me? They will hear that some people are shooting in somewhere in Oka, and they say, get me detailed information.
But why we wait for the state police? Can't we do that with what we have on ground? We have the vigilante, we have this other pockets of security, Atma, this and that. No, those ones are for roads. Okay, can't we make do with what we have on ground? That's the vigilante. Can't we equip them to be able to do this kind of job for the communities?
We cannot.
Why?
Why? Because the criminals, assuming I've been a victim. I'm a kidnapped victim.
Oh.
Yes, I was kidnapped on the 22nd of August, 2022. I spent 3 days in the dungeon. So
really?
God gave me a second chance to live. So what I'm talking about is a personal. I have that personal experience, and it was a very traumatic one. Now, if you call vigilante to your house, and the vigilante is holding a pump action that fires cartridges, he needs to come close to the victim to be able to have effect, while the assailant is holding an AK-47. You see, the issue is, if an assailant holding an AK-47 comes into your compound, and you have a shotgun, you have a 45 caliber, you can take him out once he's inside your compound. Because you know where you are, you know your compound, you know where you are. You can even stay by the wall and take him out. The vigilante will not do this for you. Because the vigilante will not say, you remember the Ekiti monarchs? There was a vigilante post not too far that the surviving monarch ran to. The surviving monarch said that they did not have, that vigilante group did not have the courage, do you get me, to pursue those assailants, because it wasn't too far from where they were. And they had the gunshots, but they couldn't come out.
So where are they then?
Well,
to earn salaries.
Too
bad. Too bad.
So let us be realistic. We have a situation where there is deficit of social trust. Everybody you give a position in this country, judges, top people, once they get there, they begin to serve themselves. If all of us have God, you can't sell judgment. No. You know that if you collect 50 million for that judgment, you will not live to enjoy the 50 million. So why collect it?
Okay, we're now talking about the implications?
Yes.
Okay, negative and positively.
Yes.
So if we all own guns, what is the negative implication, please?
There are implications. You can catch somebody with your wife and you shoot him. In the US, it's called crime of passion. You call the police, you surrender the gun. You understand me? Once you shot him at the scene of the crime, you don't have any problem. You go through the process and you go home.
That's because you saw him with your wife.
Right. But if you saw him with your wife and you have to go somewhere to go and get the gun and then come, it becomes premeditated. So what am I saying? If on that day they came to kidnap me and I had a way to defend myself and I take them out immediately, I will use my phone and call the police that these assailants came into my compound and I have succeeded in neutralizing one or two of them. The rest have fled. The police will come, carry them, recover their arms, see how they came in, and make sure that they are not enemies of mine, who I killed, and then say that they jumped into the house. Do you get what I'm saying? So there are consequences. I'm not saying that there are not going to be consequences. There are consequences.
Let's look at those consequences.
Now, but the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. I'm telling you that 200 people, 150 people sometimes in Zamfara, on top of motorcycle, enter a town, take the town, take everything, rape, do everything, plunder the people, because they are armless. Now, those 150 people may be against 10,000 or 15,000 in the population. Assuming 1, 2, or 3,000 of people in that city, they have arms. These people will not succeed.
No.
They want to live, to enjoy their loot. They don't want to die. So the moment you make it impossible, the moment they know that I'm capable to, defend myself. If I'm traveling from here to Abuja by road, and somebody jumps out from the bush and take the bus and take all of us inside and begin negotiation. He wouldn't do that if he's persuaded that maybe 3 or 4 of us inside that bus have our arms. We are not going to let them go that way. That's because they are coming to us. They don't know who we are. Once they are approaching and we are persuaded that they are coming to take us, we open fire on them. We have comparative advantage over them. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is that is the way I look at it. Let's not say because somebody was shot in Kansas. People are not shot every day. If you check the number of people who are shot in America and check the level of stability, even an old lady in America, a pensioner, you can't go into her house and take her. She will defend herself. People who are vulnerable, they defend themselves.
Okay, let's also talk about the mental health of people, because somebody mentioned it. Okay, that's some people, their mental health is so down that you wouldn't even know until you see them. My producer, if he was telling me a situation that she encountered yesterday, where somebody blocked her and she was trying to, persuade him to, please, why don't you shift so that I can be able to? And the guy came down with red eyes. If you talk. What has led to this? I was only asking you to know. I said you should, that kind of a thing. So she now weighed the guy and then escaped for her life. Okay, so we have a lot of this, though we know that the present situation of things in the country could make you mad even if you are sane before. Okay, but then how do we now know who is supposed to own this car when it becomes walk into a shop and possess one?
You're talking about regulation. And I am against regulation. Why am I against regulation? Regulation creates room for corruption. Regulation creates room for people to begin to collect money. Regulation creates room for you to give me for me to come to you, a psychiatrist, and get a clean mental bill of health. Maybe I'll pay 50K or 100. Oh. The psychiatrist now becomes a billionaire, another billionaire. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I am against regulation. What I am for is open. You open it up. Then once, maybe in the next 5, 10 years, we begin to review the laws. But in the first instance, you open it up. Because it's in opening it up that you bring back civilization. We are not living in civilization, no. We are in a Hobbesian state. That's what we are in. Because if you are traveling from Okana to Lagos by road, you don't know, you surrender yourself because you don't know what will happen. Whatever happens to God, you ask God, please, I'm going on this trip, help me to get there and come back. Or help me to get there first. When you're coming back, then
it's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game. And when you get there, you thank God. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like even when you take a flight from, say, Umweri into Abuja, the car hire carrying you might be a
criminal.
Yes.
From the airport to your
destination.
From
the airport to your destination, anything can happen. And the problem begins from there. No, but if people are carry their arms, if I get to the airport, I will declare it, they will take it, put in the cockpit. When I land in Abuja, they will give it back to me. Do you get what I'm saying? Then I'll continue. That's how it's done out there in the US.
Can we also do like that in a bus, luxury bus, when you have individuals come in and then submit their guns?
No, if individuals come into the luxury bus and submit their guns, we do that for the aircraft because of, if it's take off and land.
Okay.
But the bus is a different ballgame. Now, when there is an attack on the bus, what do? The driver might be the first person they will take away. And then who is holding the gun? So you have to hold it yourself.
Oh, God.
You know, that's
it's
what I'm
funny.
saying. There will be some, but it's the only revolution that will help also. Let us be truthful.
What do you mean by revolution? The
I
one
mean-
that Falana is calling
No,
for?
no. That's the one that's the only thing that
Okay,
can
the
happen.
gun revolution.
Yes, that's the only thing that can happen. It will create jobs. It will bring back people. Will begin to live the way they are supposed to live. Today, people are living anyhow. They are doing anything. Impunity. You know, you hear people, people in government, they take billions and all this. They live in the same community with us. You understand me? They live the way they like.
You know,
they go to the same
even
market.
intimidate us with
Even
that.
intimidate us with that. No, they won't be able to do that anymore.
Oh, no.
Because they know that somebody is watching them. Somebody is not going to take this. If I come to your office and I came, you know, I'm supposed to bring this paperwork, and the paperwork is accurate, you know, and you tell me, because of one sentence, I should go and do it back. You want to play me around so that I can be able to say, what is it? Let us sort it out. Do you get what I mean? People will do it. Because there is nothing to sort out. You look them eyeball in the eyeball and say, don't try this with me. And then that respect will be restored. You see? So that is what I am persuaded that Nigerians must rise up. I had the views of some people. They're entitled to their views. You know? But I'm not sure that those people have been in a situation where they are completely helpless, where only providence can save them. You see, these people who commit this, they are brutes. Sometimes they are not normal human beings.
After smoking
Yes,
and
they
drinking,
come,
they're out
their
of this world.
agenda is either they have the money, or they kill,
take you
or
down.
they maim, or they do whatever they got to do. So the only way we can stop a madman, a bad guy with a gun, is another good guy with a gun. Say, no, you can come in here.
Oh, if my grandfather gave was he trying at Onya life fegi, you also behave like a mad person.
Definitely.
Onyala.
That's all. We are trying to apply the same principle here. Because these people, the only way, the only language, I've told you, I used the young pastor's analogy. It was a mega church. I'm not going to name the church. It was a mega church, you know. So it shocked me because people, 1 minute ago, who wanted 20 million for not working for it, $20 million, they were shouting, oh, no, I could do this with that, I could do that. Suddenly backed off when they say, oh, I'll give you this money and then you will die the same day. So what it means is that the terrorists don't want to die. The kidnapper don't want to die.
The bandits.
The bandits
All
don't
of
want
them.
to die.
They value their
The
lives.
moment the bandits know that we have capacity to guard this our city, you can't come in there and burn and rape and do whatever. They will stop.
And they could be taken down. If
They will stop.
I know. Okay, as we round off now, I don't want to get personal, but then you just mentioned that you were kidnapped and perhaps it changed your perspective. Okay, so what was the experience like?
It's terrible, my sister. It's going on. It took me close to 6 months of pure therapy to recover from the trauma. And I've been managing blood pressure since 1998. So I really thank God that in those 3 days, I didn't have any medication. And I made it out. I had no medication. You know, they tied my hands behind the back. Even there wasn't blood flow at a point because they used the electric cable, blindfolded me. And all I was praying, I said, well, if it's the will of God, you know. But
God
gave
saved
me
you.
another opportunity.
Thank God for you. Thank God.
So many Nigerians don't have that opportunity. So many people are missing. You know, you remember the Labour Party candidate, Amasilo. Yes, up till today, nobody had anything about it. And the family is still traumatized.
That is,
They can't overcome that trauma.
You know, my father will always say, it's better na madu munarege fozu ebuli niye than na madu funarege. That the trauma lasts for a lifetime.
It's eternal trauma.
Every day, there's only for a year. That kind of a thing. It's a horrible thing. I just hope something will just happen and then the whole situation will change and we'll start living like normal human beings. Because as it stands now, Nobody is normal in this place.
Nobody
No, when you are not sure of it, I'll be coming out very early in the morning, 6 o'clock to come to work, and I will just be scared.
Definitely.
Anything could happen. Somebody
Yes.
could just stop me and
Anything
shoot
could
me.
happen, yes.
Anything could just happen to you because of the environment you find yourself in. I just pray that we'll wake up one day and it's all over, that we'll say that, it used to be like this. and now we are better off.
That prayer will be answered if we have the ability to stop the bad guys who have the gun. They already have the gun. So we must
Okay.
create capacity
To stop them.
To stop them. If
Okay.
we don't, we will continue to be victims.
All right. Thank you. We have looked at Nigeria's security crisis, which of course everybody is, even on what is like now. So exploring the debate on gun legalization. That's exactly what we looked at today. I'm sure you took something home. For those of you that don't want it or those that want it, you have seen the both sides of it. And then when you balance it, you know exactly what we are cut out for. Thank you for coming. As you did justice to the topic, Chief Anthony Chibo, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Okay.
I'll be delighted to come again
I know.
on the same subject matter.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, camera guys. Thank you, Martin and Co. this morning. Thank you, Echo Will. Thank you, Aguna and your boys at the MCR, Chizoba, and the whole lot of people in the house, the producer, the assistant, Tina Chinyere, and our main producer, Ifi Unachupu. Thank you, my makeup artist, Tochupu. He did a fine job throughout this week. Thank you. Everybody that made it happen this week, in this week's edition of Good Morning Anambra. You're wonderful people. Like I've always said, this is the team to beat. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, those of you that watched in the house. God bless you, because Good Morning Anambra will return Monday next week. My name is Sijama. God keeping us. We'll back here and then start from where we stopped. Do have a good weekend and bye for now.